Today's talk, I called it a magnificent demonstration. It's a play on words from a magnificent obsession. And I looked up demonstration on Google, because Google is our friend. And mostly it talked about protests, demonstrators. Those were all quotes I got, and I thought, well, that's not what I mean. Because I'm certainly not here to protest. So I looked at truthunity.net. Does anybody use truthunity.net as your reference source? You all should be doing that. If you want to know anything about unity, if you want to know about metaphysics, you want to know about New Thought, as I'm sure you all do, then go to truthunity.net. Mark Hicks has put together a website that has everything. It just has everything we could ever possibly want. And a search engine for your topics. And so I typed in demonstration. And I found this. And I want to read this part first before I talk from my own thinking. And it says here, what is meant by demonstration in truth study? What is the great demonstration? And we often hear and read the word demonstration in truth study. It is defined as an exhibition. Proof, especially proof beyond the possibility of doubt or denial. In this lesson, we may designate a demonstration as an exhibition or example of the working of spiritual law. Proof beyond the possibility of doubt or denial of the operation of a principle of good. In order to have this proof, there must be a change in a person's consciousness from error thoughts to thoughts of truth. This is brought about by thinking true ideas or spiritual principles in the conscious phase of mind until they take root in the subconscious phase or the feeling nature. In this phase of mind, the ideas will, like seeds, grow and produce after their kind through the spoken word, silent or audible. In mind, these seed ideas will bring forth alertness, keenness, and positiveness. In body, they will manifest as health, strength, vitality, and beauty. And in affairs, they will produce success, prosperity, harmony, order, and peace. The great demonstration, that which crowns all others and includes all others, is the individual's consciousness of life. Omnipresent, radiant, pure, perfect, life without beginning or ending. It is the demonstration of eternal life for spirit, soul, and body in harmonious unity here and now. The great demonstration is the continuous proving of spiritual laws, a harmonious solving of all the problems of life. The great demonstration is the understanding of perpetual growth, renewal, and reproduction of the life idea. It is knowing that life is inexhaustible and indestructible, and a showing forth or a demonstrating of this life eternally by the individual consciousness. It is demonstrating the Christ mastery over one's thoughts, feelings, words, actions, and reactions. The great demonstration is mastery in one's entire being. Since the teachings of Jesus are practical for daily living, the great demonstration must mean the practical application of Jesus' instruction in our daily living right here and now, showing forth, demonstrating the principles of truth successfully. In this way, we truly bear witness to our knowledge and use of truth. Now, I like that a lot. I really like that a lot. Is there anybody here who has an issue with Jesus? Yeah, some people do. You know, I can't get into this Jesus thing. And on one Sunday in Connecticut, the same Sunday, someone came to me and said, I can't come back because you talk about Jesus too much. And somebody else came to me and said, you never talk about Jesus. The same day. So I don't know what people are listening to. But I do know that for some of us, It's a wrong rub with Jesus. And when we hear the word Christ, we confuse it with Jesus. And I think we have to remember, Jesus didn't know the word Christ. It was not part of his vocabulary. It was an honor, really, bestowed upon him by observers who felt that he had demonstrated life principles. Life principles. And so if there's anybody here today who is resistant to hearing the word Jesus or hearing the word Christ, I'm going to tell you this quote. It's a wonderful quote by a man named Dr. Herbert Spencer. And Dr. Spencer said that there is a principle which is a bar against all information, which is proof against all arguments, and which cannot fail to keep man in everlasting ignorance. And that principle is contempt prior to investigation. So think. There are so many things we think we know, and we don't. We just don't know. You know, we've heard a few things, and so, oh, I know all about that. And it's like, really? Really, you don't? I know people who have money and think, oh, I don't need to learn about prosperity. And then they find out, oh, there's a lot more to prosperity than cash. But it does include it. And but the great demonstration to me is an overcoming where everything in the physical tells you it's this, but everything in the invisible tells us it's something else. Who here has proven the invisible truth? That the physical proof was not as much evidence as I had thought. You know, anyone who has ever overcome the obsession with substances has proven the invisible truth, because there was nothing on the physical level to prove that you could do without those substances. Who here has stopped smoking, for years now? Do you think you did that through willpower? Do you think you did that through self-will, self-reliance? No, there was an invisible presence in your thinking. There was an invisible something, willingness. Willingness, you cannot find willingness in the physical. You only see it reflected in the physical. Will is a divine state. The way I put down cigarettes is I made friends with them. Instead of hating cigarettes, I got down on my knees, because that's where I was praying at that point. I had never prayed on my knees in my life, and then I stopped drinking and stuff, and people said, get down on your knees and pray, you'll know what you're there for. Well, when I got on my knees and prayed, I didn't get more religious. I got focused. I got very focused. And so I knew that I was commingling with a power greater than what I had previously understood. I was commingling with a presence. I was commingling with love that loved me. And I was proving it on a daily basis. And I had heard that statement about, as God is for me, nothing could be against me. And I thought, really? Nothing? Because it sure seemed the opposite sometimes, didn't it? Do you ever feel like there's something working against us here, or you individually, or somebody? And it's like, I love that nobody shakes their head. It's like, I don't believe you for a minute. I know that, the subway doesn't come, or it's just leaving as you get in there, and it's like, I'm not loved. Am I right? And then it comes and, but there's too many people in it. I'm not loved. I don't want to be loved by these people. I want to go to a bar and get loved. And so we think, and we need to stop doing that, really. It's getting in our way. It's this thinking thing. Let's start being. And so a power and a presence. So with cigarettes, I realized, well, as God is for me, nothing can be against me. Well, then cigarettes cannot be against me. And I realized, a drink never poured itself off a shelf for me. And a cigarette never lit itself for me in my mouth. I had to make choices with that. And what I realized is cigarettes, alcohol, various behaviors and things, they protected me for many years because I had no other tools that I was consciously aware of. And they got me through a lot of very difficult years of mass confusion. And then one day, because I started praying differently, I didn't need those substances. I didn't need those friends anymore. People come in and out of our lives when we need them. What's the same with substances and what have you, behaviors. And sometimes it's time to let them go. So what I did, I thanked cigarettes. I blessed them. I said, you have been my friend all these years, and I don't need you anymore to do that. I have new tools. I have new thoughts, new ideas, and I have a prayer life now. So I'm going to be letting you go on New Year's Day. This was October, 20-some years ago. And I said, I'm going to let you go on New Year's Day. We'll have a party until then. But I'm going to let you go. And I did. I allowed myself to smoke as much as I want. I was a heavy smoker. And I would go. I started not smoking until noon. I started getting my body used to, a morning habit of not smoking. And on New Year's Day, I had volunteered at a place all till like 6 in the morning on New Year's Eve, because I'm a giver. And I went to breakfast with a friend, and at 8 o'clock in the morning, I went across the street. I lived across the street from the diner, and I threw my cigarettes in the trash in the street, and I went upstairs, and I went to bed, and I slept till January 2nd. I slept all day and all night, and I woke up, and I thought, I have got one whole day without a cigarette. I have just received a great gift. I might never get that gift again. I better not smoke today. And it was like one day at a time, not smoke. Oh, can I get through today? I want to know, and I don't want to have to ever repeat these early days again. But I listened to a hypnosis tape. I did things different. It was a great demonstration of faith. And let me tell you why I became really willing to quit smoking. It wasn't because I was afraid of getting sick. I'm much too egotistical to think I could get sick. But the cigarettes were getting in the way of my prayer life. And my prayer life had become so important to me. And I had demonstrated a lot of new behaviors and a lot of new thoughts. But suddenly, I could feel this smoke wall in between the next demonstration of this magnificence you see before you, and I wanted to know this magnificence that was before me. No, I can't get sick. I had one really aggressive cold last week. Anyway, that's why I became willing. I wanted to know the next part of my prayer life. I wanted to know what would it be like to pray without that. Have you ever wanted to know yourself without something you know was standing in your way for your next good? Have you done it? It's nice, isn't it? You're clearer. And so now imagine if some of us were to, let's make friends with Facebook and then put it away. Or at least with the need to post what we think on it. Puppies, kittens, put those on Facebook. Here's the, with Facebook, I'm assuming for the most part you're singing to the choir already. So why are you protesting? I have conservative friends and I have liberal friends, and I can't tell the difference in their postings. Sometimes it's like, you're just spewing forth hatred, and it doesn't make you smarter. It does not make you sound clearer. Don't you want a demonstration of love? I do, until I forget. I want a magnificent demonstration of love in my own consciousness. And I can't wait till you change for me to get it. And I can't wait till they change for me to get it. I can't. Because, quite frankly, some of you are taking way too long. I'm working on my schedule here. I can't wait till David shifts whatever I think he should shift for me to be happy. I must claim the great demonstration of joy. I must claim the great demonstration of the freedom to be and know that as God is for me, nothing and no one could be against me. Years ago, I was rollerblading down along the Westside Highway on the walk, not on the water, but and I had that thought: as God is for me, nothing could be against me. And the next thought that followed was, therefore, everyone and everything is for me, is pro me, is on my side. And I could envision a line that went the whole way up the West Side Highway, all the way up to Westchester, of people in line waiting to participate in my good. It was a nicer feeling than thinking, well, that one's against me, that one's against me. Oh, look how that one's looking at me, that one, oh, see, they have a lot of hair, they'd hate me. Seriously, those thoughts we have. Oh, look at them, they're way too attractive, they would never want to be with me. All those games I used to play with myself, and I started a new game. The new game was being the light. I am the light. Now, sometimes the light doesn't always sound so nice, but it's still the light. Sometimes the light is rather blunt. I find the light speaks to me in a way that I can hear. But the light is never unkind. The light never has an agenda other than my joy. But the light will never try to convince me of my joy. It will just be the light. And you know what light does? It allows you to see if you want to see. To turn on the light shows you a room, and then you decide what the room means. Some of us turn on a light in our home and say, oh, this is the ugliest place I've ever seen. And some of us turn on a light in the same room, and it's the most beautiful place. And there's so many opportunities. If we go out the street and we can turn on the lights, what are you going to choose to see today? I'm becoming more and more convinced that our parents, that our money, even our partners, those of us who have them, our friends, are not the boss of me. Because no matter what anyone is doing, they can't tell me what I'm supposed to think about it. There is nothing that I should think, but there's everything that I can. And so, when I turn on the light and I say, I want to see as God sees this room, meaning my life. I want to see as God sees, as I'm sure. If I believe God is love, and not waiting to catch me screwing up somehow, then I can be pretty comfortable looking at my room called my life. And I don't have to hate any of it. And I can forgive all of it. And I am free to love as God loves. I am free to see as God sees. Now, I will guarantee you there will be at least 5 times today I will forget to do that. I will turn on the light and I will see a mess. I will turn on a light and criticize the pile of clothes under the chair, the dust in the corner. Something. Please, Britt and I are driving for 4.5 hours today up to New Hampshire. We will find something wrong with the world we live in. And so, we're not going to pray the entire time. Unless we change our mind between now and then. Because that's another option, isn't it? I don't have to live up to that statement I just said. We could hold light for all, not just to be nice, but because it's true. We could hold light for our highway that we're driving, and no other driver is in competition with me. No other being is competing with me for light. All good is here now in my magnificent demonstration. Who here today is willing to recognize the magnificent demonstration that you are? Okay, there's not nearly enough hands. Go, thank you. Thank you. Scott, get your hand up. You're willing. There you go. Thank you. I don't want to force it on you, but you're sitting in the front. You must need it the most. The people back in resentment row. Let's take a breath. Let's pray. Let's pray. Take a breath. Let's give thanks now for the abundant good that we are, the abundant good that we've always been, and the abundant good that we will always be. And let us give thanks that together today, as a group, in a group conscious, we can have a realization of this good. A full, abundant realization. Let's look at any categories we place our life in and put good in each and every category. In each drawer of our lives, each closet, each nook and cranny. Just see the word good. See the word good in every cell, every tissue, every fiber of your being. In all of your organs. See good in your eyeballs. See good in your ears. See good in your nose and your breathing. See good in your mouth and your words. See the word good in your lungs, in your heart. See the word good in your hands and your feet. See the word good running up and down your legs. See the word good flowing through every bodily function. The simple willingness to see this word good in yourself, in your neighbor, is a really great demonstration. So we give thanks now for our magnificent demonstration. So it is. Amen.